Hey folks, Randy here with Dulin Cut Trim. So I did something this year I've never done before. I've shrunk my service area before, but I've never completely left a city. Until now. I did that, and it's something I hemmed and hawed about all winter long. And I just kept going back and forth. Should I do it? Should I not do it? I got a lot of loyal customers in this area, but it's just not a good area for me to be in. I'm not going to say the area, but people that know my area will know who I'm talking about. The local guys that watch this channel will definitely know what area I'm talking about. But it's just this area north of me that great customers, amazing customers, always paid their bills on time, never had a problem. But there was just a couple of things. Like I'm in Glen Burnie, and that's about where 95% of my customers, well, that's not true. Like 75% of my customers are in Glen Burnie, 20% are in Pasadena, and the rest are, in different places, including this place that's north of me. But in this place that's north of me, it's like a 3 or 4 mile drive from my northernmost Glen Burnie customer to my southernmost customer in that area. And they all live, not all, but they live close or in sketchy areas. And it's the kind of thing where it's like, you go to service a property, and if you go into the backyard, you're hoping your equipment's still there when you get back. Or some of these townhouses where you got to drive through some single lane alleys, and if somebody's blocking, it's so easy to get blocked in, and people are not pleasant. They don't move their cars. It's a whole thing. And it was costing me a lot of time to get up there and get back, and it was just constantly putting a strain. And so I dropped that whole route, that whole area, that whole city. I just dropped them. Every customer I had in that city, I let go. Which honestly was really rough, because my oldest customer lived in that city. It's the second person to ever sign up with Dulin Cut Trim. And they signed up with me in 2015, and back when I was working on Saturdays, and they've been with me the whole time. And so that was tough, actually. So I sent a generic. This is funny. I sent a generic, look, we've loved having you all as customers, but we're moving on letter or email to all the customers in that neighborhood. But these folks that have been with me since 2015, I really wanted to express my appreciation to them and how much they'd meant to me. And so I wrote this email and sent it to them saying, hey, I fully intended to be servicing you guys for the rest of the time Dulin Cut Trim was in operation. You guys have meant a lot to me and my family, because you've been a part of our success. You've been there since the beginning, and if it hadn't been for you and people like you, Dulin Cut Trim wouldn't be where it is today. And I went through this whole thing, and honestly, I even got a little choked up as I was writing it. Just about how much it meant to me that they'd been there, and so I'm forever grateful, and I wish you folks well. And I don't know what I was expecting to get back from that, but I got absolutely nothing. It was one of those things where it was like, they say it's not personal, it's business, but we do kind of take stuff personal, because this is how we feed our families. And so I did kind of feel like it was personal, and it was important to me to let them know, how much they'd meant to me. And I feel like their silence was letting me know that, we don't care at all. We're mostly annoyed we just have to find a new guy now. So even though it was very important to me to let them know how much they meant to me, apparently I didn't mean that much to them. Which honestly, looking back on it, I think they were making that clear. They'd made that clear several times over the course of that 5 or 6 year period. I remember, I can actually say 2 different times this happened, where my son was in the hospital, you know, like because of the health issues that he has. And on 2 different occasions, they emailed me to let me know, like, hey, if you can't get to my yard this week, we're going to have to find somebody else. And they knew I was in the hospital with my son. So, you know, in hindsight, maybe they didn't care as much as I thought they did. Well, you know, what you going to do? So, but yeah, it's the first time I've done that where I've dropped them. But anyway, the whole point of the video, I cut out that city, which accounted for not 10% of my customer base, but close to it. And I didn't know how I was going to feel when I did that, but I can tell you how I feel now as the lawn season's getting closer. I feel amazing. It's such a relief not knowing I don't have to deal with going up there and dealing with that area. So just wanted to pass that on. So I hope it was helpful to you. It's Randy with Dulin Cut Trim. Have a good one.